Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Elmhurst College in Elmhurst, Illinois, and R.A. Fagenal Hall, the home of the Blue Jays. So glad you are with us. I am Tim Calderwood. Gina Veneer is alongside as the Blue Jays prepare to take on Loras College. Gina, Elmhurst has won consecutive contests coming into the matchup here tonight. They obviously feel that they have started to turn the corner a bit.
It was a great game that we saw, Tim, the other night here at home. And Coach Shearer is simply just wanting to grab this one again against Loras. Good crowd tonight. Loras is here. They're coming ready to play. It's been over 13 years since these two teams have found themselves playing each other. Both of them are pumped up, both excited. Love the atmosphere here in R.A. Fagenal Hall tonight. It's going to be a good game. I can feel it.
And as a former Dubuquean, I welcome those of you who are watching us from Dubuque, Iowa this evening, where I understand in talking with some of the Loras coaches, there's already 6 inches of snow on the ground. That sounds like fun. I always enjoyed the snow in Dubuque. As Loras preparing to take on Elmhurst. Loras is 2-6. They won their last matchup at Simpson, 77-69. They were the preseason favorites in the Iowa Intercollegiate Athletic Conference. Elmhurst has won consecutive contests. The Blue Jays will head into finals week before traveling to Las Vegas, where they will meet Aurora and Wisconsin Oshkosh following the contest here today. So the biggest thing as well, I think, for Elmhurst is with that layoff coming, they want to make sure that they give themselves something strong to build upon into that break.
Absolutely. They have over a week of a break after this game tonight against Loras. Coach Shearer is simply just wanting to grab this one, have a nice break, and then plan to do very well in Las Vegas in their holiday tournament. Should be exciting.
Let's get to the starting lineups for the contest. For the Newhawks, Connor Mooney, 5'10" sophomore guard out of Lake Zurich, Illinois, averaging 8.9 points per ball game. Mike Gleason, 6'2", senior out of Cary, Illinois, averaging 1.5 points per contest. Tyson Handsaker, 6'5", senior forward out of Nevada, Iowa, averaging 4.2. No, it's not Nevada. Jordan Harrelson, a 6'4" junior out of Cedar Rapids, Iowa. He's at 6.9 per night. And Danny Pawelski, the 6'9" junior big man out of Naperville. He played at Neuqua Valley. For the Blue Jays, Mike McCurdy, 6' junior guard out of St. Charles. He's at 10 points per ball game. Zach Boyd, 6'3" junior out of Warrensburg, Illinois, the leading scorer at 19 points per game. Also for the Blue Jays, Eric Ellingson, Joe Acosta, and Steve Crane. It is Crane in the center circle against Harrelson. Harrelson swats it back towards Mike McCurdy. We are underway in the first half of play. If you're wondering, there is a big contingency of Loras faithful who have made the trip. Reason for that, well, there are 9 players on the Loras roster from the immediate Chicago suburbs.
That explains all the fans there for Dubuque.
It's one of their biggest recruiting hubs. The Dewhawks open in the zone. Elmhurst with 10 to shoot. Zach Boyd, corner right, lobbing for Crane, right of the lane. Back out to Boyd, a hurried three-pointer, swish! A three-pointer for Zach Boyd to open the ball game.
And a great way to start it, Tim, really. We saw an excellent performance by Zach Boyd the other night here at home. And Coach Shearer, that's exactly why he has him in the lineup again. Start things off, start a fire in this offense.
26 points, a career high for Zach Boyd in the victory over Kalamazoo College. Lob in for Pawelski. Who drops it in low left, 3-2. Both teams have converted on their opening offensive possession. Crane posting and calling as Acosta dribbles once to his left. Loras was in zone ever so briefly, and now they switch to the man. Acosta angling right around the arc, free throw line extended, overshoots Crane on a lob. Already a substitution for Elmhurst as Sean Finley will enter off of the bench. Loras' fine sports information director, John Denham, just texted me and said there's way more than 6 inches of snow on the ground there. Nice.
Correction.
We have none of yet here in Chicago other than the 2 or 3 inches that fell the other day, as Powelski will trigger a 3 on the right wing, which rattles off to the left for Zach Boyd. Elmhurst continuing to lead 3-2. McCurdy up the right edge of the lane, over the top of Mooney, banks it home. 5-2 Blue Jays. We have a lot of rain right now here in Chicagoland, expected to turn to snow later this evening. Bounce pass towards Mike Gleason, who converts. 2 minutes into the contest, 5-4, Elmhurst with the advantage. Sean Finley bouncing for Acosta onto the left wing. McCurdy defended by Connor Mooney. One dribble up high for Finley. Pass on a 3-pointer, opting to run some more clock. Here's Steve Crane. He'll trigger a 3-pointer, the big guy.
All right.
Steve Crane, who has steadily improved game in and game out, averaging 6.7 points per contest, stepping outside to bury his 3rd 3-pointer of the season. Crane was a transfer into Elmhurst this season. He's a junior eligibility-wise. It's 8-4, Elmhurst with the lead. Gleason, corner left to answer a triple of his own. Loras entering the contest 2-4 on the road. Their road victories at Wisconsin-Platteville and at Simpson. And their road losses at Edgewood, at Whitworth, at Wheaton of the CCIW, and also at Luther. Crane fails to finish low right. Powelski comes away. 2-on-3. It's slowed up by Mooney. Now he charges through for the cutting Harrelson, who is hacked. Joe Acosta's first foul, first of the game, and to the free throw line, Jordan Harrelson, junior out of Cedar Rapids, Iowa. 3 out of 8 from the free throw line this season, just a 37% shooter. First toss off the front iron and long. Substitutions for the Dewhawks. Travis Guy enters, senior out of Grays Lake, Illinois. Crowd continuing to file in here at R.A. Fagottle Hall tonight. Pretty good contingency on this Saturday evening. Free throw number 2 for Harrelson drops in. It's tied up at 8 aside. Tim Kelly, junior from Cedar Falls, Iowa, returns for the first time here today. Dubuque, if you don't know, is located basically in the northwest corner of Illinois. It's in Iowa, but it's right across the Mississippi River. Call it the tri-state area because Dubuque intersects with Iowa, Illinois, and Wisconsin as Elmhurst turns it over. Useless knowledge brought to you by only a former Dubuquer.
I like it. It's tidbits like that. You know, I got to stay informed.
That is what I am here for, Gina. Elmhurst extending the defense. They're in the man here to start. Kelly attempting to set a screen for Gleason, who rolls left. 16-footer, rims out to the right. Joe Acosta with the board. Acosta continuing to improve steadily after missing the first 3 games of the season with an injury. He was open at the top of the arc, dribbles and unloads for Boyd, corner right. 16 minutes to play. Deadlocked at 8. Here's Crane again for 3 off the back iron. Long rebound controlled by Powelski. 3-on-2. Gleason to the basket, blocked by Boyd. Our officiating crew this evening, Andy Bowles, Scott Savage, and Andrew Williams. 29 to shoot for the Dewhawks, who will maintain possession. Substitutions for Elmhurst, Aaron Schroeder entering, along with Nick Sanford. Travis Guy inbounding to Gleason. Working his way around the arc towards the right side, up the right edge of the lane, counted in a foul. Foul is on Sean Fenley, his first, the second on the Blue Jays. At the line is Mike Gleason, who has been very busy for Loras early. Gleason with 7 points, couldn't make it 8 as the free throw misses. A 2-point edge for Loras at 10-8. Fenley step back, right wing 3-pointer. No sir, rebound reeled in by Ryan Kuhn. Sanford for the steal. To the hole. Challenged by Tim Kelly, who made a play on the ball. And he will make Sanford earn the 2 points.
Well, I think Coach Scheer wanted to see Nick Sanford take it up just as a simple left-handed layup. Instead, switching over to his right, drawing the foul, fortunately for the Blue Jays, which is going to put him on the line here. A simple left-handed layup, I think, would have done the job there.
2 shots for Nick Sanford, a freshman out of Decatur. Home of Millikan University. He's 2 of 6 from the free throw line this season. But he is good on attempt number 1. Let's examine the CCIW standings entering play today. Augustana remains the conference's lone unbeaten 5-0. Illinois Wesleyan 6-1, Wheaton 6-2, Carthage 6-3, North Park 3-2, North Central winners of 3 straight. They are 3-4. Elmhurst 2-4 and Millikan 1-4. And there's a host of games around the conference today, which we will tell you about in mere moments as well. The contest is squared at 10. Tim Kelly aiming for the post, couldn't target Coons. Away come the Blue Jays. Sanford, nice up and under move, followed by McCurdy. His tip, no. Schroeder has a chance, not there either. And it's a 2-on-1 for Loras. To the basket, trudges Mooney, +1. And it'll bring the Newhawk fans to their feet here at R.A. Fagettle Hall. A couple of games are in the books today. North Park was victorious at Spalding University. Albion College out of the Michigan Intercollegiate Athletic Conference. Elmhurst faced Kalamazoo of said conference. Albion upended Carthage today in Kenosha. Games tonight, Buena Vista of the Iowa Conference at Augustana. McMurray College at Illinois Wesleyan. And the always national favorite, but yet down a bit, Washington University at Wheaton. Keep tabs on the contests that are underway later. Free throw drops in for Connor Mooney. 3 points for Mooney and a 3-point edge for Loras at 13-10 with 14:45 remaining. Ellingson at the right elbow, slinging for Sanford. Schroeder with his back to the bucket, clears out to Boyd on the left wing, open 3, bingo!
Excellent ball movement there on offense for the Blue Jays, Tim, what we just saw, and everybody contributed onto that set.
Zach Boyd with a 3-pointer for the Blue Jays. Loras looking to answer it as an air ball on the try from Reese Hartledge, and a foul on the rebound. Tim Kelly with the foul, his second. And the second on Loras as well, both belonging to Kelly, who came off of the bench, and he will now have a seat on the bench next to head coach Greg Gorton. Gorton took over the reins of this Loras College program in his first season, went to the NCAA tournament and upset Wisconsin Whitewater, who at the time a lot of people felt like was number 1 in the country. I think they were ranked 4th or 5th. How about Eric Ellingson for a 3? Elmhurst heating up from outside. 4 3-pointers for the Blue Jays in the game and a 16-13 lead. Under 14 minutes remaining in the half. Travis Guy off the dribble, carries. Eric Ellingson working around the perimeter for McCurdy. Left wing up high, Ellingson off of a screen, fouled in the process. Reese Hartledge knocks him to the floor. Eric Ellingson, who buried a 3 moments ago, will head to the line for 3 free throws. It's kind of one of those things about Eric Ellingson. He's pretty good at drawing contact. 6'2" senior out of South Elgin, who played at St. Charles North High School, will step to the line for 3 attempts. And his first free throw is off the front eye. Eric Ellingson, 7 of 10 at the stripe this season, 70%. His second toss is good. 3-year letter winner. He's one of the 3-year varsity letter winner at St. Charles North High School.
Eric's a good example of the all-around student athlete, Tim. He's a guy that you see around campus that stays involved on a lot of activities. He's very heavily involved in the Greek life at Elmhurst College. He is a president, actually, of a fraternity on campus.
Travel. Connor Mooney in disbelief. Tyson Handsaker returns. One of the 3 seniors on this Loras team. Elmhurst up by 5, 18-13 with 13:20 to go in the first half. Bailey Barnett has entered for the Blue Jays along with Deontay Foster. Mark Shear said in the victory over Kalamazoo the other night that they kind of simplified things a little bit on Thursday. Felt like he tried to get a little too creative with the rotation early on as Crane travels. Maybe tried to go a little too deep rather than sticking with what was working, and so he's kind of rotating his subs in a little differently here today as Eric Dornfeld enters.
We did see a lot of substitutions the other night here at home, and I think we explained this a little bit in the broadcast when we saw that at in the last contest. It's hard to find a rhythm if you're constantly switching guys on and off the court. As I mentioned, the benefits, fresh feet, seeing if somebody different can start a spark. But there's always that benefit of having a rhythm.
Pretty good low post move by Powelski, but Eric Ellingson fails to control the rebound for Elmhurst off of the miss. Elmhurst has already played 11 players today off of their 2010-2011 roster. Wing right, Handsaker's 16-footer is off to the mark. Loras, the momentary look towards the zone. They're back to a man as Acosta drives down Main Street. Bothered, tipped once, tipped twice. Dornfeld falling down to avoid the travel and to throw it away. Gleason returning for Loras. Missed the first handful of games this season with mono. Getting back into the rhythm slowly but surely for the Dewhawks. Powelski over the top of Dornfeld and in. Dornfeld did everything he could defensively against the 6'9" Powelski. 6'9" versus 6'7", 6'9" wins. 11:55 to play, and we've got a kick. 18-15, Elmhurst on top. Brian Gaughan will enter. His father, the former head coach at Bennett Academy. Brian, a junior out of Naperville, played at Bennett Academy. Loras has used a lot of players here in the opening as well. To the rack drives Bailey Barnett, and he's bothered on the way up. Whistle Jordan Harrelson for his first. Team foul number 4. Bailey Barnett, a sophomore out of Gary, Indiana, will be shooting a pair. Off the back iron on attempt number 1.
Hometown of Gary, Indiana, also the hometown of
a certain former pop star.
Tidbits.
Who we talked about the other day, I think.
I think we did.
Maybe off air we had that conversation.
Yes.
Second free throw is short from Barnett as well.
The king of pop.
We were mentioning Michael Jackson. I think, Gina, you were mentioning there's a video game now imitating the king of pop. I did not put it on my Christmas list, though I do own a Wii. Maybe that will be my Christmas gift to you, Gina.
All right.
Handsaker off a screen, pops out and converts. Loras, a 32% three-point shooting team on the season. Handsaker with his 6th make from bonus distance, tying with 5 others for the team lead. There are a lot of guys who can shoot on this Loras team. Powelski, no exception. The big man increased his range for this year, his junior campaign. Fenley denied on the dribble drive on the baseline. 10 to shoot for the Blue Jays. Foster left elbow, picks it up. Over to Acosta, wing left, 18-footer, no. Rebound bounces into the waiting arms of Gaughan. He lies to break it ahead, and stepping in is Deontay Foster to knock it into the waiting arms of Elmhurst head coach Mark Shear. Tied at 18 with 10:43 remaining in the first half.
Talking to Coach Shear after the game, on Thursday night, Tim, you could tell that he's been quite pleased with the performance of his team so far, especially the last couple of games, getting a win on Sunday, getting a win here at home on Thursday. This is a 2-4 ball game. It's very 2-4 ball team. It's very early in the season, and of course, picking up games like this can be huge for a team like the Blue Jays.
Gone for three off the front of the rim, but an offensive rebound as Harrelson outleaps two Blue Jays. Good ball movement to Gone, wing left again, off the mark. Got to secure the basketball. Bailey Barnett couldn't, and Harrelson knocked it away. But it is out of bounds to the Blue Jays. So glad you're with us on Blue Jay TV tonight. We will have a women's matchup for you. Our next broadcast here on Blue Jay TV, Tuesday night, December 14th. 7 o'clock tip, the women against Rockford. Finley along the baseline, up and under move as Pawelski wins the battle. Here is Gone into the left corner for Gleason. Three-pointer in and out. Pawelski was charging in, but he was a bit early on his attempt to tip in the miss. Past the midway point of the first half, even at 18. Finley in the left corner. Waiting, starts to move right. Acosta high right, out pops Dornfeld. Shot clock is down to 10 for the Blue Jays. Barnett, baseline right on the move, denied on the drive by Harrelson. Out to Acosta. Here's Finley with 5 to shoot. Corner left for Foster, has to throw it up in desperation, in and out. Acosta chases the rebound and trips up Tyson Hansaker in the process. .9:17 remaining. Joe Acosta's second foul will place him on the bench, likely for the final 9:17 of the half. Both teams showcasing a lot of depth here in the early goings of the contest. Elmhurst shooting 36%. Loras shooting 44%. Sanford steps in. Trudges into the cheerleaders. Trying to record the turnover for Elmhurst. Sanford, Schroeder, Ellingson, Foster, and Boyd for the Blue Jays. An air ball for Mike Gleason. They will reset. It is Gleason, Mooney, Guy, Harrelson, and Pawelski for the Dewhawks, who missed the 2-foot on the left edge. Out with it is Foster, ahead to Ellingson, bouncing for Schroeder left of the paint. Out it comes for Foster, working around the arc. Ellingson with an entry pass towards Schroeder. Blue Jays will run it again. Schroeder pops out. He's open at the right turn for three, you bet. The 5th three-pointer of the game for the Blue Jays.
Well, I think anybody could like to see a guy like Aaron Schroeder, Stephen Crane, not being afraid. Unafraid shooters out there taking a shot on the outside of the perimeter. Three-pointers, and hey, they've been lucky the past 2 we've seen them take.
Schroeder, pretty good three-point shooter. He was 3 of 6 entering the contest today. His 4th from bonus distance this year, and Harrelson dribbles it off his foot. Greg Gorton with a little bit of look of disbelief on his face, the Loras head coach. Chatting with Harrelson on his way back up the floor. Elmhurst 21, Loras 18, 8:03 to play first half. Don't forget to follow Blue Jay Athletics on Facebook and also Twitter. I guess it's become a fan on Facebook and follow on Twitter, but you get my gist. There's the address on the screen, twitter.com/ElmhurstBlueJay. Zach Boyd for Schroeder. 3 to shoot, leaning in, partially blocked. He wanted a foul from Ryan Kuhn. Officials didn't see it. Mike Gleason, baseline left from 18, short. Follows his shot with a rebound. 7:15 to play in the half. A three-pointer would tie it. Harrelson looking for the posting Guy, calling for the basketball. Boyd fronts him to deny the entry pass. They eventually work it to Guy. Right of the paint, blocked by Boyd on the way up. Perhaps overlooked in Zach Boyd's performance of late has been his defense, as Elmhurst will spend a timeout, a 30-second timeout. We've talked about his rebounding. We've talked about his ability to score, his shooting in his range. But yet, his defense stepping up moments ago.
Well, Zach Boyd leads the team in block. He's a block leader. He's a field goal percentage leader, 3-point. And he's a guy that's very versatile. Somebody you want on the floor. We saw an unbelievable performance from him on Thursday night, but he leads the team in blocks too, and we've seen already 2 solid blocks out of Zach Boyd tonight in today's game.
Don't forget to vote when the poll question pops up on your screen, and then click that Find Done button at the bottom. That will eliminate the screen for you so you can get back to the fine video from here at R.A. Fagettl Hall. For instance, what is your internet service provider? I clicked Other because I don't know. Yes, I do watch along with you. Sometimes I get to cheat and receive a second look, about a second after the play occurs. Back to live action. McCurdy running the point, bouncing for Boyd. James Robertson has entered for Elmhurst as Zach Boyd will take it to the hole, and he is fouled. Robertson has missed the first 6 games of the season. Started practicing earlier this week. Did not play in Thursday's victory over Kalamazoo as they wanted to give him a little longer to prepare. But he is on the floor here. Zach Boyd stepping to the free throw line. Elmhurst by 3. And make it 4. Boyd leading the team in free throws attempted with 27. Pretty solid shooter as well, 85%. It actually ranks 2nd on the team behind Sean Fenley, who's at 89%. Boyd converts on the pair. The lead is 5, 23-18 with 6:40 to go. First half of play in Elmhurst tonight. On Blue Jay TV, I'm Tim Calderwood alongside Gina Veneer this evening. Connor Mooney dribbling into the lane, looking for help. And he finds it in Travis Guy, who will start to move left. He picks up his dribble, bounces it for Reese Hartledge, and an offensive foul as Sanford stepped in. Tell you what, Nick Sanford is making his presence known here tonight.
He really is. We saw a fast break out of Sanford earlier, getting himself to the free throw line. We're seeing him do things on offense, as well as right there, we're seeing a defensive player come out of Nick Sanford.
Perhaps the breakout game we've been waiting for out of Sanford. Robertson shuffles to the left edge. Schroeder in the middle, hands off to Boyd. Free throw line extended, 17-footer was blocked by Kuhn. Elmhurst saves it with 19 to shoot. McCurdy drew the defenders in and found the open Schroeder.
Great pass by the assist leader of the team, Mike McCurdy. He's got 15 coming into tonight's game. That'll give him 16 on the season.
Mooney wing right from 16, in and out, a foul on the rebound against the Dewhawks. It will be their 7th, and we have free throws at the other end. 7-point lead for Elmhurst, the largest of the game at 25-18. Talking about Mike McCurdy, junior, who's been a 3-year player for the Blue Jays. I think him and Zach Boyd are kind of viewing this as their time to shine. They came in as freshmen and did their best to play on a team that advanced to the NCAA tournament behind a very senior-laden squad with 2 solid seniors in Ryan Burks and Brent Rook. Boyd is at the free throw line, and he's now 3 of 3 from there today, 9 points. Last season, so they had some growing up to do, and now they kind of feel like they've done that growing up, and this is their time to lead the Blue Jays. It's an 8-point lead.
Well, I share the graduation year with both of these guys as a junior myself here at Elmhurst College, and I can remember coming to the contest as a freshman and being impressed with their play as a freshman at that level, coming into a team that was very well advanced, knew they were going to do well in the CCIW, and they ended up doing well in the NCAA. But they came in and contributed even as freshmen, Tim, which was really incredible to see.
Contact away from the basketball. That season, the Blue Jays lost in the opening round to Wisconsin Whitewater in what was termed as the bracket of death. Here at Elmhurst, the Blue Jays hosted the opening round, featuring 4 top 15 programs. Washington University, who went on to win their 2nd national title. should have lost to Lawrence University, who was in the top 15 at the time. And then Elmhurst and Whitewater were both nationally ranked as well. Count it as Gleason drives. Since the contact, just kind of tossed it up to the basket. It fell. And he'll have an opportunity to whittle away at what is a 7-point deficit now following the bucket. Loras is 2 of 4 at the free throw line today. Mike Gleason now with 11 points, and again, he cannot convert on the three-point play. He's 0 of 2 at the line. 5:22 to play first half. Elmhurst 27, Loras 20. Sanford at the left turn. Into the corner for McCurdy, who bounces it into the post for Schroeder. Boyd will pop out. Action continues on the left side of the floor as Sanford is there, over to Schroeder. Fakes left, comes back right, sets a screen for McCurdy. Schroeder steps back. Three-pointer with 5 to shoot off the front iron. Short rebound for Guy, strong side. Loras slows it up. Gleason spotting up on the right side, three-pointer splash. 27-23, a 5-0 run for the Dewhawks. With under 5 minutes to play in the first half. Here's McCurdy all by himself up the left baseline to the hole and in. 29-23. Travis Guy with a right-hand dribble. Entry pass for Pawelski, knocked away by Sanford. Robertson collects. Robertson moves right, bounces for McCurdy. It was kicked. Steve Crane returns for the Blue Jays. Sanford will inbound. Long inbounds pass for McCurdy. Sanford high left. Onto the right edge for Boyd. Outside the arc, bouncing for Crane. He's right of the glass. Up high for Sanford. Wide open three. Long. Crane comes swooping in. Rebound was knocked out of his hands. Spotting up right baseline is Tim Kelly, who hits the transition jumper off the feed from Mooney. 29-25. Loras has chipped it away to 4. Down to 3:35 remaining in the opening 20. McCurdy corner right for Crane, backing his way in. Fade away from 15 on the baseline. And a foul on the rebound whistled against the Blue Jays. Deontay Foster, Joe Acosta, and Eric Dornfeld return for the Blue Jays. Loras will counter with 3 subs themselves. We'll reset the floor for you in just a second.
Well, Tim, you mentioned the success that came from the 2008 and 2009 Blue Jays basketball team, and Coach Shear is just hoping that he can build a team to carry that sort of confidence that team had in the program that he's been building throughout the years. When you're adding in guys like Steve Crane, you've got 2 solid juniors in McCurdy and Boyd. The confidence that team had, that I saw as a freshman, it was incredible. And Coach Shear, he gets a lot of credit for the team that he put out that year.
Full timeout for Elmhurst. The thing to realize is they graduated all of those players and it kind of hit them out of nowhere. So you almost had to start building from scratch, which is where I mentioned those players like McCurdy and Boyd, who are now juniors, are really having the opportunity to kind of pick up the banner and run with it themselves.
Absolutely, and it kind of justifies what we've been seeing out of Coach Shear in the floor changes, setting up totally different players in and out constantly. What you didn't see in the success that came from the team a few years ago was pretty much they always played the same guys. There was about a 6 and 7 man rotation, and that was working very well for them, and that's what they stayed with. Now we're seeing a team that's a lot of in and out, and they're trying to find what's going to work best for them.
She's Gina Veneer, and I am Tim Calderwood on this Saturday night. Glad you're with us on Blue Jay TV from R.A. Faginal Hall on the campus of Elmhurst College. Men's basketball action, Elmhurst leading Loras 29-26. Mark Shear said the other day that you know, talking about the players in the program now, he's very pleased with the players that he has in this program. Feels like they can take the program to the level where it was a few years ago. But they need to get some seasoning and some grooming first, which is what the non-conference portion of the schedule is about. And then when you enter the CCIW portion, well, a lot of people have said the College Conference of Illinois and Wisconsin may be as strong as it has ever been in the 2010-2011 campaign, although the non-conference results have been a little disappointing with only one team unbeaten so far. And Carthage, who was the preseason conference favorite, losing today at home to Albion. 29-27 after the second free throw from Tim Kelly. But you talk about Carthage and Illinois Wesleyan were both in the preseason top 5. We had Augustana receiving votes. Wheaton was in the mix as well in the top 25. Those seem to be the top 4 as we look ahead towards conference play. But North Park had a solid season a year ago as well. North Central with the freshman of the year in their program. So the conference season will always be a challenge, and the goal is to get into those top 4 slots to make the conference tournament. How about Joe Acosta, who has returned for the Blue Jays? His first three-point attempt of the season, and his first make of the season as well, 32-27.
A three-point shot, a shot overall for Acosta's very unorthodox in his play, but we like to see a bit of confidence come from him as he pulls that shot out.
Harrelson off the glass and in. 32-29 with 2:35 remaining. First half of play. Foster bouncing for Dornfeld. Out it comes to Acosta. Fakes left, tries to drive right. Denied by Mooney. 15 to shoot. Foster will reset to McCurdy left edge. He'll fake left, move right. Float home a three-footer in the paint. 34-29.
Very nice move there by McCurdy. Tim, you mentioned the stack of games that the team plays that are non-conference. They are a huge benefit for a team to find out what kind of lineup they're going to be using. As a softball player here on campus, we go to spring break in Florida, and we have 22 girls on the team, and just about all of us play in Florida. Every position working out different spots, and that's what we're seeing here out of these non-conference games.
Acosta with the steal, under 2 minutes to play first half. Elmhurst by 5, 34-29. McCurdy left corner, high for Acosta. Foster in front of the Loras bench. Bouncing for Dornfeld against Powelski off the glass and in. Dornfeld and Powelski have battled a couple of times in the post. This one goes to Dornfeld. I believe that is 1-1 if you're keeping score. Entry pass for Harrelson, tries to dunk, and he missed it. Keeps it alive, though, flipping it to Powelski, who lost it, and Boyd dives on top of the loose ball. Well, if you're going to dunk, you have to finish. Any coach will tell you that. Less than a minute remaining in the half.
Well, and if you're going to dunk and you're going to miss it, then you're going to do exactly what we saw out of Harrelson, and that's just get the hustle rebound and hope that somebody else can put it up for you. And a guy like a 6'9" Powelski is a good guy to hit it to.
Elmhurst waiting, bouncing for Boyd, low left, off the glass, too strong. Rebound tapped back to Acosta, in and out. Tapped in by Dornfeld, the third opportunity for the Blue Jays.
And that one got Coach Shear real fired up there on the Elmhurst College side of the bench. Love to see the passion coming out of the head coach.
And offensive rebounding has been a problem for the Blue Jays in their first 6 games of the season as well, so solid to see that happening for Elmhurst here tonight. Shot clock is off. Loras will hold for the final shot, trailing by 9. 38-29 is the score. Connor Mooney moving right, double teamed. Looking for help in the lane, Powelski, an easy drop in. Just before the buzzer, Powelski with an easy finish as Loras rotated until they found the open man. And as we reach halftime, the score, Elmhurst 38, Loras 31. Well, you can say the Blue Jays did exactly what they wanted to do in the first 20 minutes of play. Find themselves in front by 7 on the board. 38-31. They shot 43% from the floor. And even though they were out-rebounded, they were able to record the key rebounds in the first half of play. And Mark Scheer has to be happy with what he's seen from the club so far.
Absolutely. We've seen a good performance here. Going in with a 7-point lead, I think is a huge advantage to the Blue Jays, giving them a sense of confidence. And I'm really excited for the second half to see what they're going to come out with, what kind of defense they're going to put on Loras, how much pressure they're actually going to put on this team to see if they can get even a bigger margin of a lead to stay with.
We'll have some first half numbers for you in a bit. In the meantime, we break. This is Blue Jay TV. Halftime in Elmhurst. Tim Calderwood with you alongside Gina Veneer and one very happy popcorn-eating fan who's in the middle of your screen as well. Before we look at the first half numbers, we'll check in on the scores of some other games around the CCIW tonight. Second half just underway. Illinois Wesleyan at home all over McMurray. No surprise there. 51-27 is the score. Those of you who are Loras fans may be interested to know that Augustana remains unbeaten in the CCIW by upending Buena Vista of the Iowa Conference 71-63. So Augustana continues their unbeaten run so far. Meanwhile, early in the second half, Washington University up by 10 at Wheaton, 35-25. So those are the scores from elsewhere around the CCIW. Here it is Elmhurst 38, Loras 31. Looking at the first half numbers, Loras shot 44% from the floor, 12 of 27. They were 3 of 8 from three-point range and just 4 of 7 from the line, a number that has to improve. They did record 6 offensive rebounds and out-rebounded Elmhurst 19-15. 9 turnovers for Loras in the first half, leading directly to 10 Elmhurst points. Elmhurst, meanwhile, for the second consecutive ball game, has done a very good job valuing the basketball, just 3 first half turnovers. Blue Jays shot 43% for the floor, 12 of 28. They were 6 of 10 from three-point range, 60%, and 8 of 11 at the free throw line, 73%. We had 4 ties and a pair of lead changes in the first half. The largest lead of the game, 9 points, belonging to Elmhurst with just over 6 minutes remaining. Email us, bluejtv@suncom.us, but .us because you'll be emailing us, the Blue Jay TV crew. Feel free to send your comments or suggestions. Our producer and director, Glenn, will be happy to pass along any words to us. Second half is underway. As we finish looking at some of the individual numbers, Loras led by Mike Gleason's 12 first half points, 10 for Zach Boyd, pacing Elmhurst in the contest. On the floor for the Duhawks, who open with the basketball and open with a three-pointer from Powelski. Danny Powelski on the floor along with Mike Gleason, Jordan Harrelson, Tyson Hansaker, and also Connor Mooney, the starting 5 for Loras. It was clawed to within 38-34 here early in the second half. The Blue Jays with their 5 as well. Mike McCurdy with the basketball, left corner. Zach Boyd, Eric Ellingson, Joe Acosta, and Steve Crane. Shot clock down to 5. Acosta open right corner. He'll attempt the 3. Short. Harrelson controls the rebound. One thing Greg Gorton likes to do, he likes to run. The Loras head coach, a transition style offense. Loras with 4 fast break points in the first half. They led the Iowa Conference in scoring last season. A lob towards nobody in particular. Mike McCurdy will gladly take the steal. McCurdy will take it himself from 18 short. Acosta fights for the rebound, but Harrelson takes it away.
Well, we're seeing a height advantage for the Duhawks right now on the floor. A visible kind of observation there for you. Elmhurst, though, they can take some outside shots, take advantage of the height that's going to be down low on defense for Loras and take some outside shots.
Eric Ellingson with a left-handed three-point attempt is short. And Powelski with the rebound for the Duhawks. Chance to cut it within 2. Bouncing for the post, and it is into the Loras bench. A first substitution of the half. Travis Guy replacing Hansaker on the floor. 38-34 is the score. We had 18:05 to play in this ball game. Good crowd on hand for this Saturday night. Hope you're enjoying the broadcast and staying warm and safe in spite of all the weather all around. Harrelson with a rebound basket. Harrelson at 6'4" is just taking it away for Loras.
Well, what was a 7-point lead going into the half, Tim, is now only a 2-point lead for the Blue Jays.
Well, they say that rebounding is as much a mindset as it is anything else, and Elmhurst just has to want to go get the basketball. They're going to see a lot of bigger teams in the CCIW this year. How about Crane on a spin move? Jumper is short from 5 feet. Ellingson, the shortest man on the floor, with a rebound. Ellingson will head to the free throw line for the Blue Jays. After the foul on Travis Guy, his second, first of the half, whistled against the Dewhawks. Loras 2-6, Elmhurst 2-4 in this non-conference showdown. First free throw from Ellingson drops in. He was 2 of 3 at the line in the first half. Elmhurst will open CCIW play on January 5th here at R.A. Fagginall Hall against Milliken. They have 4 games after today to prepare themselves for conference play, as Ellingson is good on the second as well. Neutral site in Las Vegas against Aurora and Wisconsin Oshkosh. A couple of challenges there. Aurora, champions of the Northern Athletics Conference. Wisconsin Oshkosh always seems to play well against the Dewhawks. A 3-pointer will pull Loras within 1 against Elmhurst, I should say. And then the Blue Jay Classic Tournament, December 29th and 30th. 29th, DePaul. The 30th, either Calvin or Benedictine, pending win or lose in that game and the other one as well. Crane, left of the lane, finishes off the glass and in. Loras, meanwhile, due to the fact that there are 9 schools in the Iowa Conference, they played 5 games before opening conference play on December 1st. Have played 3 straight conference games before visiting Elmhurst here tonight. 42-39, Blue Jays with the lead. Pawelski working on Crane, spins right, short. Swooping in is Boyd. McCurdy backs it up into the right corner, bouncing for Crane. Up high for Boyd, passing on the 3, opting to drive around Harrelson. No bucket, but a foul on the way. In other words, Loras has to kind of schedule their non-conference games when they can. For instance, their next matchup will be at home on December 19th, next Sunday, against the University of Chicago. They will also host North Park University on Monday the 20th, travel to Ashford University on the 29th, so they have 3 non-conference games remaining. Zach Boyd is at the free throw line, 10 points in the first half. And it is now 11 points for Boyd as Harrelson departs following his second foul. 43-39. One more for Boyd. The junior out of Warrensburg, Illinois, is good on his second as well. Boyd with 2 very solid second halves in the last 2 ball games, both Elmhurst wins. 22 of his career best, 26 on Thursday in the win over Kalamazoo. 22 of his game high, 24 in a win last Sunday over Westminster. 16:05 remaining, Elmhurst by 5, 44-39. The hook shot for Travis Guy is solid in the lane from 5 feet away. Ma'am, your Loras sign is upside down. Nick Sanford, right corner. She was holding up the yellow sign with purple Loras lettering as the lob pass for Crane is too long, but it was upside down.
Oops.
That couldn't have been on purpose. 44-41 as the Blue Jays turn it over. Enter Ryan Kuhn, the freshman out of Clive, Iowa. Played at Dowling Catholic, solid program over near Des Moines. Gleason, who led the Dewhawks with 12 first half points, bounces for Guy in the lane, travel, moved his pivot foot. That would be a no-no. McCurdy to Finley, who pops out high. 15 to shoot as Sanford rotates from McCurdy in the left corner, and an offensive foul. Elmhurst turned it over just 3 times in the first half, but a turnover here would give Loras an opportunity to tie it on a 3. Mark Scheer is hot on the Elmhurst bench.
Well, we saw Steve Crane get into some foul trouble in Thursday night's game, which so much trouble that it landed him on the bench for the rest of the game as he fouled out, which can be very frustrating for somebody like Coach Scheer, who wants Crane to be on the floor through the remainder of the game, especially towards the end.
Stepping out with a left-handed three-point attempt is Tim Kelly, and we are tied at 44.
Well, it took the Dewhawks a little over 5 minutes to get right back at the start of this one, all tied up at 44 as the Blue Jays let go of a 7-point lead coming into the half here.
Tim Kelly, a second-team All-Iowa Conference choice last year, providing some punch off of the bench, almost 9 points a game. Schroeder will try a 3. Offensive rebound for Sanford, who follows. And we've mentioned Sanford's name a few times. 5 rebounds in the first half, an assist and a steal as well, plus 2 points in 8 minutes of action. He is screened, coming out to try to work on Kelly. Guy, wing right, up high towards Kuhn, who traveled. It's one of the only reasons I don't like the post player coming out high, is Elmhurst will take a 30-second timeout. You get a guy in a position that they're not necessarily used to playing, and you put the ball in their hand at a spot where they're not used to seeing it, and a lot of times you can get that thought going in their head of, what do I do here? 46-44, Elmhurst with the lead, 14:06 to play. Mark Scheer spending his 3rd timeout. Greg Gorton has all 6 in his back pocket. Follow the Blue Jays on Twitter, twitter.com/ElmhurstBlueJay. Don't forget, for all of your Elmhurst College athletic information, to visit ElmhurstBlueJays.com. There is that site as well. Again, our next broadcast here on Blue Jay TV, a women's basketball game on Tuesday. As Rockford College out of the Northern Athletics Conference is the guest for a 7 o'clock affair. Elmhurst basketball out of the TO. McCurdy towards the right corner, up high for Boyd. Back to McCurdy, shoveling into the corner for Fenley, former all-conference choice at Carthage College. Joining the Blue Jays after sitting out last season, Schroeder, baseline left from 18, high off the glass. It won't drop, but a foul on the rebound. And the foul is against Tim Kelly, the junior for Loras. 3rd foul on Kelly, 3rd on the Dewhawks. Fenley passing on the 3-pointer. He's come in here and hasn't had that shoot-first mentality that he had sometimes at Carthage. Widely thought of as one of the top shooters in the CCIW during his tenure with the Redmen. He's been happily able to step into the role for the Blue Jays, and he will shoot here from 18 and convert. It's one of the things Mark Scheer talks about a lot. When you add transfers to the program, sometimes it takes a little time, because yes, they have college basketball experience, but now they've got to erase whatever memories they had previously and start over. In fact, Mark Scheer said the other day that they, at the start of the season, only had about 1/3 of their offense installed. Here's McCurdy knifing to the hole, and it's knocked out of bounds. They'll say last touch by Aaron Schroeder. Mark Scheer wants a foul. As he paces up and down the Blue Jay bench, imitating the play.
Well, Tim, for a guy like Sean Finley coming into a program here at Elmhurst after being a standout player at Carthage College, you have seen a little bit more of a timid Finley, and that's probably very normal, coming in 3 years playing at a different college and now going to finish out his senior year at a totally different program. He's getting acquainted, he's getting used to the guys. I mean, half of the battle for me is having team chemistry, knowing your guys well, knowing what kind of play they like and what type of players they are on and off the floor.
Should be noted he is still averaging over 8 points per game for the Blue Jays. McCurdy along the baseline, high arcer off the glass and home. Got the friendly roll off of the rim. 12:15 to play, 50-46. A long three-pointer from Gleason, well short. Rebound chased down by Fenley. It's a 3-on-1. Fenley up the left edge, takes himself to the rack. No, but he's on his way to the line. And we have the first time out of the game taken by Loras. It is a full timeout, and so we break. 12:06 to go. Elmhurst 50, Loras 46. This is Blue Jay basketball on Blue Jay TV. Second half of play. 12:06 remaining. Elmhurst 50, Loras 46. We'll reset the floor for you. The Dewhawks, after their first timeout, break with Connor Mooney, Mike Gleason, Travis Guy, Tim Kelly, and Dan Pawelski. Sean Fenley stepping to the line for Elmhurst, joined by Mike McCurdy, Zach Boyd, Nick Sanford, and Aaron Schroeder. Fenley is at the line, and his first attempt is good. We kind of teased you a little bit earlier, saying Sean Fenley leading the team in free throw percentage. 8 out of 9, and now 9 of 10 on the season. 90% shooter. And he converts on both. The lead is 6, 52-46. An 8-2 run for Elmhurst. Mooney waiting, throwing it into the Loras bench. Greg Gorton right on top of the play wanted a foul. They'll say it was off of James Robertson. And it stays with Loras. Almost into the lap of the Dewhawk head coach. Connor Mooney surveying the scene. Bouncing towards Travis Guy on the right wing. Up high for Pawelski. Into the lane. Taken away by Sanford. Second steal of the game for Sanford. Here's Fenley rotating around towards the right corner for Robertson. Back up high to Deontay Foster. Steve Crane crossing over. Back to Sanford with 14 to shoot. Down to 10. Fenley controls high and right. To Crane high left with 5 to shoot. Has to hurry. Robertson on the move to the free throw line. Blocked. Travis Guy swatted it away, and we have a shot clock violation. Tyson Hansaker and Jordan Harrelson returning for the Dewhawks. If you're wondering, it's about 3 hours to Dubuque, Iowa. Rockford is probably about halfway between here in Dubuque. Again, useless knowledge from a former Dubuquer. But they do use Chicagoland as one of their big recruiting bases. Loras is a Catholic institution. Connor Mooney with Foster all over him defensively. 10 to shoot. Mooney waits. Up the right edge, over Foster. High arcer, short. Sanford with his 7th rebound of the game. Here's Foster racing ahead to the left wing for Crane. Fenley, good ball rotation over to Robertson. Open three is short. Fenley with a rebound. Good ball rotation by the Blue Jays. Also seeing Sean Fenley being much more patient on offense for the Blue Jays. Passing on an open look moments ago for a better open look from James Robertson. 10:16 to play in the game. Elmhurst by 6, 52-46. Fenley between the rings backs it up. Blue Jays with almost 3 point guards on the floor as Crane throws it away. Fenley, Foster, and Robertson can all handle it. Mooney towards Harrelson, driving baseline right. Clearing out to Mooney at the left wing, three-pointer through. 52-49, Mooney slices the lead in half.
Well, defense unable to set up there for the Blue Jays, which led to a huge advantage for the Dewhawks and a wide open three-pointer there for Mooney.
Foster at the free throw line. Over to Robertson, wing right. Short. Rebound for Powelski, 4-on-2. Mooney takes, dishes to Gleason, open on the right edge for the tie, in and out.
Robertson not seeming to get a very good grip on the ball the last two possessions on offense for the Blue Jays. The ball has been in his hands for the shot. Hopefully he's able to reset a little bit and kind of rethink the shot before he puts it up.
Sanford high right. Working further right for Foster. Crane cuts to the basket off a bounce pass. Fails to bank home the 12-footer. Weak side, a rebound for Harrelson. Here come the Dewhawks again, 4-on-3. Gleason will try to tie it again. Nope. Powelski taps at the rebound. And Crane reels it in. Here's Robertson, wing right. His three-pointer is good. And a timeout for Elmhurst. 55-49. Off of a three-pointer for the Blue Jays. Another three-pointer. Elmhurst taking a 30-second timeout, but they are out of 30s, I believe. And it is reverting to a full timeout. Along with Gina Veneer, I am Tim Calderwood. So glad you are with us on this Saturday evening. Quick check on the other scores currently around the CCIW. Wheaton has rallied from a deficit at the half, leading 49-47 at home over Washington University. And it remains Illinois Wesleyan all over McMurray, 72-49 with over 9.5 minutes to play in the ball game there. Big news for Illinois Wesleyan. They lost at home to the University of Chicago, but today they were able to have John Koshnitsky return. One of two starters who has missed the first portion of the season. Here it is, Elmhurst 55, Loras 49 with 8:36 to play. Elmhurst winning despite shooting 39%. That is because they're shooting better from three-point range, 44%, than they are from the floor, 39%. 7 three-pointers for Elmhurst in the ball game. They've also converted on 82% of their free throws. 14 of 17. And they've just turned it over 6 times in the ball game. Done a better job rebounding here in the second half as well, as that number is now equal at 26 apiece. Out of the timeout, it is Loras basketball. Connor Murray walking ahead to Gleason high left. Crossing over, moving towards the left corner. Acosta on him defensively. Back out towards Mooney. Bouncing for Harrelson. Around the arc we go. Powelski to drive to the basket and a whistle. Offensive.
Well, a well-deserved call there, Tim. Great defense. Illustrated there by the Elmhurst Blue Jays on that defensive set. A fresh set of guys in here on the lineup, 5 for 5, in and out. So we're seeing a little bit more energy, and hopefully the same goes for the offensive side here.
First foul on Powelski. Schroeder just shy of the paint on the right wing to a spotting Ellingson, whose 18-footer banks in. Back to an 8-point edge. 57-49. The largest lead of the game for the Blue Jays has been 9 late in the first half. They currently have an 8-point edge as Pawelski steps out. He'll try the 3 from up high. And Acosta is knocked to the floor from behind on the rebound. That'll be the 6th foul against Loras. So the next one will send the Blue Jays to the line. Acosta starting to move. Dribbling to his right with the right hand. To Schroeder, elbow right, back to the bucket. Into the left corner. McCurdy, open three-pointer, you betcha. Second three-pointer of the second half for the Blue Jays. And look at Mark Scheer, the Elmhurst head coach, leaping to his feet, trying to get the students and fans next to us to fire up as well, as the Blue Jays lead by 11 at 60-49.
Well, with an 11-point lead, a solid shot there by Mike McCurdy to get the fans, the crowd, the bench, everybody here at Elmhurst pumped up.
A miss by Connor Mooney. Elmhurst a little too hard in transition. Acosta set his feet. Oh, it's a block against Joe Acosta, who's 30 feet away from the basket, attempted to draw the charge. Boy, I don't know that I've ever seen Mark Scheer as fired up as I did moments ago.
Well, I saw a little tidbit of passion come from Coach Scheer in the first half even. A few big shots made, some defensive stops. He's getting pretty pumped up in this game, and I think he really, really wants to grab this one.
It's rare that you see him try to fire up the crowd, though. A lot of that emotion is directed towards his teammates.
I love it.
Gleason to the basket. Contact on the way. 60-49, an 11-point advantage for Elmhurst. Part of the reason for that may be when you look at what the Blue Jays have done this season, their wins at Westminster and home against Kalamazoo earlier this week, 6 points and 3 points. With 6:21 to play, they are up 11 and honestly have controlled all facets of the game here in the second half. They're playing as good as I've seen them defensively this season. The shots are falling for the Blue Jays. And the transition game is there as well. And perhaps more importantly, they're taking care of the basketball, something they failed to do in their first 4 losses of the season.
We are seeing a lot of aspects very positive here for the Blue Jays tonight, and just a sense of growth. My first interview with Coach Scheer after the game last week included him just thinking just that. I'm seeing a lot of growth in this team. I have confidence in them. We're just going to continue to work, continue to build upon the program, work in different offenses, and just continue to try something new. We're seeing a lot of that talk into action here tonight.
Loras able to whittle the advantage to 10, missing a free throw, but then turning it over. And we have a Loras timeout. It is a full one. And with 6:14 to play, we break. Elmhurst 60, Loras 50. This is Blue Jay TV. A double-digit lead for Elmhurst, 60-50. Loras is the second opponent for the Blue Jays out of the Iowa Intercollegiate Athletic Conference. Elmhurst opened the season in Mount Vernon, Iowa against Cornell College. falling in overtime, 75-70. Cornell College, led by a former North Central assistant as their head coach, and former Elmhurst assistant has joined their coaching staff as well. Dan Doyle. 6:14 remaining. Elmhurst will inbound as Loras attempts to set up the press. Boy, that was easy. Where's that Office Depot button when you need it? 6:05 remaining. Sanford to Boyd. Over to McCurdy. Schroeder is posting and wants the basketball. He's being fronted defensively. And now he will pop out. Shot clock down to 10 for the Blue Jays. Knocked into the Elmhurst bench by Travis Guy. .547 remaining. Sanford towards the bucket. Long arms of Pawelski there. Good idea, but you're not going to get it over 6'9" when you consider that reaching up on top of it probably adds another 1.5 feet to it. And a foul the other way. The fourth against the Blue Jays is Mike McCurdy. Picks up the foul. First foul against McCurdy. To the free throw line steps Connor Mooney. Connor Mooney is second team All-Iowa Conference choice last season, averaging 8.9 points per ball game. A lot of balance on this Loras team as well. Danny Pawelski, the leading scorer. Travis Guy, Tim Kelly, Connor Mooney, all at about 9 points a ball game. The first free throw from Mooney falls in. Loras has struggled at the line today. They are only 5 of 9 before that make. So now 6 of 10. Whittling away the lead slowly but surely. Mooney good on both. He has 8, and it's 60-52 as the Doohawks set up the press and nearly force a 5-second call. Sanford high left towards Finley in front of the Blue Jay bench. Sanford in the right corner, back up to Finley. Hounded by Gleason defensively. Loras is certainly an on-the-ball, aggressive defensive team. McCurdy with 8 to shoot. Tries the baseline. Steps back from 15. Short. Strong side rebound for Boyd. Throws it up. And he will head to the free throw line. Danny Pawelski with his second. It's the 7th against Loras. 2 shots for Zach Boyd, who has been held below his season average of 19 points per ball game today. But he does have a dozen. And his first free throw falls in. Pretty quiet second half for Boyd after scoring 44 points in the last 2 second halves combined. Has only 3 points in the second half today. He's a perfect 7 of 7 from the line. And he won't be 8 of 8. Tim Kelly with the short rebound. Pawelski into the lane. Turning as Kelly, hook shot drops in. And a timeout for Loras, a 30-second timeout. 61-54, the Doohawks are within 7 with 4:52 to play here on Blue Jay TV. Again, our next broadcast will come your way Tuesday evening, women's basketball variety. Hope you will join us for that contest. 7 o'clock against Rockford. And if you ever miss a broadcast here on Blue Jay TV, well, you can go back and watch them. That's right. They are all archived and uploaded within 24 hours of a game's conclusion on the Blue Jay TV YouTube page. I once saw a band in concert that brought out a flip cam to record the crowd, and they say what I say. If you're watching us now, say hello to YouTube. 4:52 remaining, 61-54.
Pretty much a way to get anybody broadcast nationally known. Many stars have come from YouTube.com.
What are you going to do to gain YouTube fame?
Oh, geez. Well, I have a couple of options. I'll think about it for a while and get back to you.
Crane over the top of Pawelski, short. Rebound is loose. Pawelski is fouled in the process. How about 6 for 6 with 6 home runs? That might get you some YouTube fame, huh?
It might. It just might.
You a power hitter?
Not too much of a power hitter. You know, I don't really pack too heavy of a punch, but I can.
How about 6 for 6 with 12 stolen bases?
Okay.
And 6 runs
All right,
scored.
that's a little bit better of a evaluation for me as to what type of player I'll be come springtime.
Travel for Travis Guy. Back to the Blue Jays, up 7 with 4:23 remaining.
How about more of a lay down a bunt, get on base, hope to get myself over to second and go from there.
I don't know if that'll gain you much YouTube fame, though. Sorry, Gina.
We'll see. Well, I could always start by doing some media work for the Blue Jay basketball team. We'll start there.
McCurdy for 3. No, Sanford with the rebound, fouled on the way up. What a game for Nick Sanford. 9 rebounds, 4 points, 2 steals, and an assist as well for Sanford.
Well, undoubtedly, this is Sanford's standout game of the season so far. He's getting the most playing time he's seen in the short 7-game season thus far. The freshman, 6'4", guard forward out of Decatur.
The guard slash forward.
Guard slash forward.
3-year letter winner at St. Teresa High School down in Decatur. First team All-County, second team All-State as a senior. Won the Most Valuable Athlete Award at St. Teresa. Also lettered in baseball and football as he is at the free throw line with 1 more attempt. 4 minutes even on the clock and an 8-point Elmhurst lead, 62-54.
There's not a huge freshman load on this team this year, but he is definitely the standout freshman, getting the most playing time, finding himself some success in tonight's game.
A 3-pointer for Tim Kelly on the left wing. Down to 3:35 to play. Aaron Schroeder over to Mike McCurdy, wing left. Towards Boyd in the right corner. Boyd into the paint. Towards the basket. Boy, he can sense contact coming. I'll be honest with you. There's only one other player in the CCIW that I have seen currently in the conference that can sense that contact and have a tendency to draw the foul, and that is the National Player of the Year, Steve Jurakovic at Carthage.
He's just got that basketball mindset, Tim, and that's somebody that you want on your floor all the time. He's so confident. He has this sense of casualness to him.
Boyd's first free throw is good, 63-57.
He's just kind of a doesn't get too fired up, but boy, by the looks of his numbers and his statistics, he could be as cocky as they come.
14 points for Boyd as Guy sneaks in and powers the rebound. 63-57, a 6-point Elmhurst lead. It's still close. Pawelski in the lane, left-handed, swatted by Boyd. Here comes Sanford with his 10th board of the night, 3-on-1. McCurdy to the hole, finishes with the right hand. 65-57. Spinning, and a basket +1 for Pawelski. Defense collapsed on Mooney, who spun, and he dumped off to Pawelski. Aaron Schroeder with his 2nd foul. Just the 5th against the Blue Jays. The officials have let him play for the most part tonight. Pawelski, the junior out of Naperville, with the free throw. He played at Neuqua Valley. Solid program. Derek Reardon, top freshman in the nation last season at North Central. His father Todd is the head coach there. He played at Neuqua Valley as well. How about Aaron Schroeder?
Aaron Schroeder camping out right underneath the basket. Luckily, one of his teammates finds him.
Blue Jays continuing to keep Loras at arm's length. Pawelski again, too strong. Danny Pawelski with 12 points in the ball game for Loras. He averages 13 a night. 2:20 to play. Blue Jays by 7. Deontay Foster at the back end of the Elmhurst Blue Jay logo. 10 to shoot. Taking some time away, down to 5. Foster with a screen from Schroeder, back to McCurdy. He'll try the 3 on the left edge, no, but an offensive rebound. Boy, the Blue Jays have gotten the rebounds when they've needed them most, and that'll bring the Elmhurst bench to their feet.
This is a huge possession here for the Blue Jays here. Going to cut it down by at least 20 seconds, probably get down to single digits, very close to the 0 on this possession here.
15 to shoot, 1:35 on the game clock. Boyd to the right, picks up his dribble. Foster there to help out with 3 to shoot. Foster bouncing, throwing up a desperation shot. It hit the rim. Boyd with the offensive rebound. Oh my goodness, and now Loras will foul. Well, we talked about rebounding being a mindset earlier tonight, and that was certainly a mindset play for Zach Boyd, chasing the loose ball, keeping it alive. And Mike McCurdy is at the line, looking to extend the lead to potentially 9 points. 13 for McCurdy today. His first trip to the line. Silence over the crowd as McCurdy converts. 84% foul shooter, 16 of 19 on the season. And both attempts are good. 69-60. Connor Mooney waits for the ball to reach the center line before he scoops it up. It's running with 1:15 to play. Mooney attempting to go towards the hole. Collides with Deontay Foster. But good news for the Blue Jays, they had a foul to give. No free throws for Loras with 1:14 remaining. Travis Guy ready to inbound. Out to Mooney, a long 3 is good from 23 feet away, and a timeout for Loras. 69-63 with 1:11 to play, a full timeout. We step aside as well. This is Blue Jay TV. Along with Gina Veneer, I am Tim Calderwood with you on Blue Jay TV. We're down to just over a minute remaining. 69-63, Elmhurst leading Loras as the Blue Jays minutes away from their 3rd consecutive win. Zach Boyd picked up his dribble. He has it stripped. It's free. Boyd leaps in. It's a 3-on-1, and Sanford will wisely slow it up with 1 minute remaining. Pawelski out to foul Foster. 3rd on Pawelski. Four players in double digits for Loras, led by Mike Gleason, 16, 14 for Tim Kelly, 12 for Dan Pawelski, and 11 for Connor Mooney. As Deontay Foster steps to the line and converts on his first. Just 2 players in double digits for the Blue Jays, Mike McCurdy with 15, Zach Boyd with 14. Deontay Foster's first points of the night. It's an 8-point edge. It's 71-63. Again, Mooney will wait until McCurdy forces him to pick up the basketball.
Big free throws there. Takes it from a 2-possession lead to a 3-possession lead, forcing the Dewhawks to do a lot of work on offense with under a minute to play.
Pawelski finesses it through the hole. 51.8. Pressure for Loras. Gleason fouls McCurdy. More free throws upcoming. McCurdy is 2 of 2 at the line today. Elmhurst, 78% free throw shooting team. 21 out of 27 in the ball game. Free throws have always been a staple of Mark Scheer's squads. Two upcoming for McCurdy, who's over his average of 10 points a night. He has now matched Mike Gleason for the game high with 16 points. One more for McCurdy. Give him a game high, 17, 73-65. Down under 50 seconds remaining. Mooney using a screen from Kelly, rolling right all the way to the hole. Rebound kept alive by Pawelski. Foster comes away. Foster continuing to dribble out. And Travis Guy will commit the foul. Elmhurst with a chance to push it to double digits with 36 4/10 to play. It is the 4th foul whistled against Travis Guy. Three points for Foster today. Averaging 4 points a ball game, sophomore out of Muskegon, Michigan. And his attempt to match his average falls out. It is a 9-point lead. The shot clock is off. 31 seconds remaining. A long three-pointer for Travis Guy, rimming in and out. Zach Boyd controls the rebound. Pawelski with no choice but to foul. It is his 4th. Boyd stepping the other way for free throws.
Well, Elmhurst guaranteed 2 shots here after they've found themselves here in double bonus, which is huge. Deontay Foster, though, before the double bonus, put both of those free throws in, making it a 3-possession lead. He can just continue to put in, as you mentioned, a staple of Coach Scheer's program, his free throw percentage and shooting. Something I know is something that they routinely place into their practice schedules.
Zach Boyd with 9 of his 15 points from the free throw line. He is 9 of 11 at the line. It is a 10-point Elmhurst lead, 75-65 with 24.6 to play. And the second attempt is off the back iron. No pressure on the rebound as Harrelson sachets ahead over towards Guy in front of the Loras bench. He'll drop in a triple. 75-68. Harrelson will foul Foster. .2 to play. Mark Scheer telling his players there is a lot of time left. Keep your focus. Coaching till the very end, Mark Scheer. Foster off the back iron. One more for Foster, falls in. He has met his season average at 4 points a ball game, 76-68. Mooney is pressured, he is trapped. Guy comes in to help out into the left corner for Gleason. His three-pointer is off the mark. Sanford with the rebound. Loras will not foul, and the ball game is over. Final score, Elmhurst 76, Loras 68, as the Blue Jays win their 3rd in a row at R.A. Fagettl Hall tonight, upending the favorites in the Iowa Conference with the 8-point decision. Gina will chat with the head man of the Blue Jays, Mark Scheer, in just moments. We'll have it for you after this on Blue Jay TV. 3 in a row for Elmhurst College as the Blue Jays knock off the preseason favorites of the Iowa Intercollegiate Athletic Conference, Loras College, 76-68. Elmhurst is now within a game of 500 at 3-4 after opening the season with 4 consecutive defeats, while Loras drops to 2-7 on the campaign. The Blue Jays will have about 10 days off before heading to Las Vegas. They will break for finals next week and then head to Las Vegas. Can't think of a better location for a post-finals gathering than Las Vegas. The 20th
season low, 7.
and the 21st against Aurora and Oshkosh. Elmhurst with a season low 7 turnovers in the ball game today. Hall. Gina Veneer making her way down to chat with the head man of the Blue Jays, Mark Shear. We'll get to their thoughts in just moments. I think she'll have a question or two about rebounding. Elmhurst with a very solid rebounding performance, including 8 on the offensive end. Gina is with the Blue Jay bench boss. Waiting for the... And so he is keying in a few things. Therefore, we will allow him to square up with the Elmhurst head coach, who was chatting a little bit with Gina prior to our discussion here. And let's go to Gina with the head coach.
Gina Veneer here courtside with head coach of the Elmhurst College Blue Jays, Mark Shear. Mark, thanks for being with us here on Blue Jay TV. Good week for you guys this week. 3 wins in a row. Last time we talked, you mentioned a lot about growing and developing as a team. Though it's early in the season, I think we've seen by tonight's victory that sense of growth and development already so far.
Our team has been positive all the way through the season, even starting slow, Gina, so we're really pleased. We saw some great play by Nick Sanford, just an emerging freshman, did a great job on the glass for us. Zach Boyd is really becoming a steady leader for us in scoring and rebounding, and then all the other guys are kind of settling into their roles on the team, so we were very pleased.
Season low on turnovers in tonight's game, a +5 on the rebounding. Huge effort. You mentioned a guy, Nick Sander, just getting his playing time and showing a big effort. A lot of credit going to him and the other players. You've got a big break ahead of you. How are you going to prepare, keep the streak alive?
Well, we really worked this week on practicing winning habits, and I think you're seeing that. We're all seeing that in our turnover reduction. We started out averaging about 18 or 19 a game, and we've been down below 10 the last 2 games. When you do that and make free throws and rebound the ball, it's hard for teams to beat you, so we're very pleased. This gives us momentum into the week off of finals, and then Friday we travel down to Las Vegas with 2 very tough opponents. We'll start off with Aurora, so that'll be a local rivalry, but it'll be in Vegas, so the guys are really excited.
Well, good luck in Vegas. Don't have too much fun, and of course, try to come home with some victories. Thanks, Coach Shear.
Gina Veneer with the head coach of the Blue Jays, Mark Shear. Elmhurst victorious tonight. Final score, 76-68. 3rd win in a row for the Blue Jays. 2nd in a row in front of the home fans. And this one over the preseason favorites in the Iowa Conference, Loras, who dips to 2-7 on the season. Let's take a look at the final total. Attempts, 40%. They were 8 of 12 from the line, 66%. Meanwhile, Elmhurst shooting 39% for the ball game, 21 of 53. But 8 of 20 from three-point range, 40%. 74% at the line, 26 out of 35. Elmhurst out rebounds Loras 37-32 with 12 offensive rebounds. A lot of those coming in the second half. 8 offensive rebounds in total in the second half of play, and a season low 7 turnovers for the Blue Jays as well, while Loras turned it over 16 times. Some of the in-between numbers Points in the paint belonging to Loras, 26-22, but Elmhurst with a 15-8 advantage in points off of turnovers and a 14-4 advantage in second chance points. Elmhurst with 26 bench points, Loras with 19. We saw 5 ties and 2 lead changes in the ball game. Elmhurst's biggest lead was 11, and the final margin of the victory was 8 at 76-68. Let's run down some of the final numbers. Loras with 4 players in double figures. Mike Gleason with 16, Dan Pawelski 14, Tim Kelly 14 off the bench, Connor Mooney with 11. 5 points each for Travis Guy and Jordan Harrelson, 3 for Tyson Hensaker. For the Blue Jays, Mike McCurdy with a game best 17. Zach Boyd on his heels with 16, 10 of those coming from the free throw line. 9 points for Eric Ellingson, 7 for Aaron Schroeder, 5 each for Nick Sanford and Steve Crane, 4 for Sean Fenley and Eric Dornfeld, 3 for Joe Acosta, Deontay Foster, and James Robertson. Big number for Nick Sanford, a game-high 11 rebounds. And Mark Scheer mentioned it, Gina. He was one of the biggest reasons for the Blue Jays in the second half, being able to keep Loras at arm's length.
Well, I definitely wanted to ask him about the performance of his freshman, giving him a lot of playing time tonight and him taking advantage of that. And it's great to see that as a freshman, that sense of confidence, and that's only something that he is going to build and continue to help out in this program, even as a young guy.
10 days off for the Blue Jays as they record their 3rd consecutive victory, upending Loras 76-68. They will be taking on Aurora in Las Vegas 1 week from Monday as they meet Aurora and Wisconsin Oshkosh out west, thousands of miles from home, in games against opponents that are less than 200 miles apiece, and in the case of one, less than 30 miles away from Elmhurst in the case of Aurora. But the Blue Jays will look to keep their momentum heading after finals. They have upped their record to 3-4 on the season after the 76-68 victory tonight. That will wrap up our coverage. Big thanks to our entire crew here at R.A. Fagottle Hall. For my partner, Gina Vanier, my name is Tim Calderwood saying thanks for watching. Stay safe, everybody. The snow is getting ready to start falling, and especially to those of you who are following the Dewhawks, safe travels back to Iowa tonight, where there's plenty of snow there already, in addition to more coming. Thanks for tuning in, and have a safe Saturday night.